There's nothing in the details that says that Allah said you can only kill combatants. It's quoting and referring to the Old Testament as it is. I just read it to you. And if I show you that even Surah Al-Baqarah confirms 1 Samuel 15:3, I'll show it to you. But I want you now to acknowledge, yes, if I'm going to remain Muslimah, I cannot attack these wars. Because
Yeah,
according
and
to my prophet, that was Allah who ordered these wars.
I've been watching a lot of lives and like where Muslims like and Christians are debating, and they
Yes.
keep bringing up verses from the Old Testament,
Mm.
and some of them are kind of similar to Islam,
Oh,
and what?
I said, interesting. So they're similar to Islam. Okay.
Yeah, and some of them, which I'm gonna ask you about, Islam seems more moral than those verses.
If it sounds more moral than those verses, then Muhammad is in hell because he confirmed the Old Testament. I know what you're going to talk about. Numbers 31, 15 to 18. Is that one of them?
Number yes, and
Oh, gee, I'm
also
shocked. Numbers 31, 15, 18. The other one is 1 Samuel 15:3, right?
yes.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I've never heard those verses before.
Okay.
Wow.
And
1
no,
Samuel 15:3. Slaughter all the Amalekites, everything that breathes. Or Numbers 31, 15, 18. Slaughter the women and the boys, but spare the virgins. Gee, I've never heard that.
yeah,
Okay, now
maybe you've heard them a lot, but
I've answered them 5 million
I'm in my
times.
early 20s, so
No,
I
I know.
literally just started like learning about religion and so on. So yeah.
I know. I've answered a million times. But sister, before I answer that question, you understand if you're still a Muslimah to attack these passages? I'm just saying, if you're an atheist, agnostic, I'd answer you a different way. I will answer you, but I just want to show you if you are a Muslimah and if
Mm.
these passages are immoral, inhumane, you have to renounce Muhammad and stop following Islam and become an agnostic. I'll answer them, but why am I saying that? As I did in the debate with Daniel Hakikachu and Ijaz Ahmed, the Quran says that these verses, Numbers 31, 15, 18, Deuteronomy 20, verses 1 to 20, which is even alluded to by Muhammad in Sahih Bukhari, and it's mentioned, alluded to in chapter 5 of the Quran, verses 20 to 26, that Allah ordered Musa to do this. That's in your Quran. So I'm trying to figure out, do you agree with your Quran that what Musa did, Numbers 31, was from Allah or no?
Can you show me?
Oh, yeah, very, very easy. I'll be more than happy. There you
Because
go, right here. I'll show
I
it to
do
you.
speak Arabic and I do read the Quran in
Plus,
Arabic.
oh, alhamdulillah, I'm proud of you. Okay. Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, 20 to 26. O my people, remember Allah's favor unto you, how he placed among you prophets, and he made you kings, and gave you that which he gave not to any of his creatures. O my people, go into the Holy Land, which Allah hath ordained for you. Turn not in flight, for surely ye turn back as losers. They said, O Moses, lo, a giant people dwell therein. That's the Canaanites, the Amorites.
Hmm.
We go not in till they go forth from thence. When they go forth from thence, then we will enter. Not till then. Let them leave, we'll enter. Then out spake two of those who feared their Lord, men unto whom Allah had been gracious. Now, if you don't know the Old Testament, you don't know what this is talking about. This is Numbers chapter 13 and 14. And the two men are Caleb and Joshua. Enter into upon them by the gate, for if ye enter by it, lo, you will be victorious. So put your trust in Allah if you are indeed believers. They said, O Moses, we will never enter the land while they're in it. So go thou, you go, and thy Lord, you go fight them. We will sit here. He said, my Lord, I have control of none but myself and my brother. So distinguish between us and the wrongdoing folk. Their Lord said, for this the land will surely be forbidden them for 40 years, that they'll wander in the earth bewildered. So grieve not over the wrongdoing folk. This is referring to Numbers chapter 13 and 14, where the 12 spies went to Canaan and saw giants. They came back and told the Israelites, Bani Israel, there are giants there. They got afraid, said, we're not going to fight. We're not going to enter and wipe them out. Joshua and Caleb said, don't be afraid, go. They said, no. I goes, all right, then you're going to now stay in the desert for 40 years. So my first question to you is, the Quran says, Allah ordered Moses to enter Canaan and wipe out everything that breathes. Was Allah right?
I still don't see the specific part where Allah
I have to
said,
make it specific. I'm going to send you to God logic. It's telling you that Allah told Moses, enter the land. What land? Canaan. To do what with it? Play patty cake? It's quoting the Old Testament. And it's
yes,
saying what God told Moses to do is from Allah, your God.
but in the Quran it doesn't say you should unalive.
Stop arguing from
everyone.
silence. The Quran never corrects the command given in the Old Testament. It accepts it as it is. Stop playing games with the text, because now you're twisting the words with your tongue.
No. I know that I know that you're 100% right. So if the Quran isn't speaking something entirely against the previous
It
scripture,
doesn't
then we
even
do take it.
say anything about prohibiting anyone from being killed. You're adding to it because you don't like it, but I don't really care what you like. I'm telling you the Quran confirms the Old Testament, whether you like it or not. It's right here. Now, since you're Sunni,
yes, 100%.
okay, now this is going to be even worse for you, Sahih Bukhari. Because now Sahih Bukhari is going to quote Deuteronomy 21 to 10 and Joshua 7 and 10, where God ordered Joshua, Yusha, to enter and slaughter all the Canaanites. And it says it's from your God, Allah. Sahih Bukhari, volume 4, number 353. So now tell me, well, I don't see it here either. Then I know you're wasting my time here. Narrated Abu Huraira, the Prophet said, a prophet amongst you. Now, what's interesting about your Quran and the Hadith, your Prophet don't even know the names of these people. For example, here, if you didn't know the Old Testament, if you don't know the Bible, you don't know who the two were, the two men that feared Allah. Then out spake two of those who feared the Lord. So if I ask you, who are those two men that said, no, Allah will be with us to fight the giants? Do you know who they are?
Yeah, you just mentioned their
But in the
names.
Quran, do you know who they are?
No.
So your Quran needs my Bible, and yet you're attacking my Bible, which explains your Quran.
I'm not attacking. I'm just asking questions.
I know. I'm saying you generally. Take it stuck for Allah. I'm saying generally. Don't take it personally, sister. Generally. And then here, it tells you a prophet amongst the prophets. It doesn't even tell you what prophet. It was Joshua, Yusha. Okay, now watch. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the prophet said, a prophet amongst the prophets carried out a holy military expedition. So he said to his followers, anyone who has married a woman and wants to consummate the marriage and has not done so yet should not accompany me. This is Deuteronomy 20, verses 1 to 20, by the way, and I'll show it to you. Here your Quran, your Hadith, I should say, Sahih, is quoting Deuteronomy 20. The command of God that when they enter Canaan, wipe it out, or when nations fight them, you can then attack them. Anyone who has married a woman and wants to consummate the marriage and has not done so yet should not accompany me. Nor should a man who has built a house but has not completed its roof, nor a man who has sheep or she-camels and is waiting for the birth of their young ones. So the prophet carried out the expedition. When he reached that town at the time, or nearly at the time of the Asr prayer, he said to the son, O son, you are under Allah's order, and I'm under Allah's order. Allah, stop it, the sun from setting. This is Joshua chapter 10. The book of Joshua, which chronicles Joshua entering Canaan to wipe out everything that breathes. And I'm going to show it to you. It was stopped till Allah made him victorious. Then he collected the booty, and the fire came to burn it, but it did not burn it. He said to his men, some of you have stolen something from the booty. So one man from every tribe should give me a pledge of allegiance by shaking hands with me. Now this is referring to Joshua 7. They did so, and the hand of a man got stuck over the hand of their prophet. Then that prophet said to the man, the theft has been committed by your people. So all the persons of your tribe should give me the pledge of allegiance by shaking hands with me. The hands of 2 or 3 men got stuck over the hand of their prophet. Again, doesn't tell you who it is. It's Joshua. And he said, you have committed the theft. Then they brought a head of gold like the head of a cow and put it there. The fire came and consumed the booty. The prophet added, then Allah saw our weakness and disability, so he made booty legal for us. Okay. He just quoted your prophet, Deuteronomy 20, verses 1 to 9, and Joshua entering Canaan to wipe out the Canaanites, Joshua 7 and 10. And your prophet said, these were ordered by Allah, jihad fi sabil Allah. And let me show you the story about the sun, so you don't think I'm making it up. He said to the sun, "Oh sun, you're under Allah's order, and I'm under Allah's order. Oh Allah, stop it from setting." It was stopped till Allah made him victorious. Now let's see what he's quoting. All right. So if you have a problem with these Old Testament wars, your prophet didn't. So why are you a Muslimah? Well, let me show you. The day the Lord, Joshua 10, delivered the Amorites over to the Israelites, Joshua prayed to the Lord before Israel, "O sun, stand still over Gibeon. O moon, over the valley of Jalon." The sun stood still and the moon stood motionless while the nation took vengeance on its enemies. The event is recorded in the scroll of the upright one. The sun stood motionless in the middle of the sky and did not set for about a full day. There has not been a day like it before or since. The Lord listened to a human being, for the Lord fought for Israel. According to Muhammad, that's your Allah. Then Joshua and all Israel returned to the camp at Gilgal. Your prophet said this was Allah who obeyed Yusha. In case you missed it, so you don't say, no, brother. No, it doesn't say that. Oh, yep. So the prophet carried out the expedition. And when he reached that town at the time, or nearly of the time of Asr, he said to the sun, "O sun, you're under Allah's order, and I'm under Allah's order. Oh Allah, stop it, the sun from setting." It was stopped. So why did Allah order Joshua and Moses to slaughter men, women, and children? Can you explain that to me?
Well, if Allah ordered someone to do something, yeah. So I was saying that if Allah said something, then it should happen. Like, we shouldn't question that.
So why were you questioning the Old Testament? Because the Muhammad said, Numbers 31, 15, 18, your God ordered it. So why were you questioning it?
Okay, that is a good question.
I want to hear what you just said. You just said, if Allah ordered it, no one should question it. So why did you question it? Because you came to question it. But now that I showed you, your Allah ordered it. Now, Allahu Alam. So why were you questioning it?
I wasn't saying Allahu Alam.
No, I'm saying Allahu Alam. Allah knows. Because that's what you said. If Allah ordered it, we shouldn't question it. Because Allah knows best. So why did you question it?
Yeah, I did not link. So I did study some of that hadith that you just brought up about the sun and so on, but I did not link like both, like with those verses.
Well, so let me show you the other one that's going to make it harder for you. You see here it says, a prophet amongst the prophets carried out a holy military expedition. So he said to his followers, anyone who has married a woman and wants to consummate the marriage and has not done so yet should not accompany me, nor should a man who has built a house but has not completed its roof, nor a man who has sheep or she camels is waiting for the birth of her young ones. Now let me show you where this is from. Deuteronomy 20. Okay, the very book where Moses says God has ordered you to enter Canaan and slaughter the inhabitants if they don't repent. Here it is, Deuteronomy 20. Pay attention. When you go to war against your enemies and see chariotry and troops who outnumber you, do not be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt, is with you. As you move forward for battle, the priests will approach and say to the soldiers, listen, Israel, today you're moving forward to do battle with your enemies. Do not be faint-hearted, do not fear and tremble or be terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you to fight on your behalf against your enemies to give you victory. Moreover, the officers are to say to the troops, who among you has built a new house? Sound familiar? And not dedicated. He may go home, lest he die in the battle and someone else dedicated. Or who among you has planted a vineyard and benefited from it? He may go home, lest he die in a battle and someone else benefit from it. Or who among you has become engaged woman, but has not married her? He may go home, lest he die in battle and someone else marry her. In addition, the officers are to say to the troops, who among you is afraid and faint-hearted? He may go home, so that he will not make his fellow soldier's heart as fearful as his own. Then when the officers have finished speaking, they must appoint unit commanders to lead the troops. Wow, wait, hold on. We read this inside Bukhari. Look. Hold on here. Anyone who has married a woman and wants to consummate marriage and has not done so yet should not accompany me. Nor should a man who's built a house but has not completed its roof. Nor a man who has sheep or camels and is waiting for the birth of her young ones. So your prophet confirmed Deuteronomy 20 as being from Allah. So what's your problem with it again?
Okay, you said earlier that you can explain that to me if I was an atheist. Can you do that?
Yes. If you're an atheist, I'll say. Now
I
you're
am not
acting.
an atheist,
So as
but
a
that would
Muslim,
help.
but I want everyone to hear you. As a Muslim, you say, Alhamdulillah, this is from Allah, right? You have no problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, okay. But you
Okay,
said
I want
earlier you can
everyone
explain it
guys
to me
heard.
as an.
She agrees. Alhamdulillah, Allah ordered this jihad for Musa and Yusha to do.
I know
Allahu
that story, but it just the details. It sounds more graphic.
There's nothing in the details that says that Allah said you can only kill combatants. It's quoting and referring to the Old Testament as it is. I just read it to you. And if I show you that even Surah Al-Baqarah confirms 1 Samuel 15:3, I'll show it to you. But I want you now to acknowledge, yes, if I'm going to remain Muslimah, I cannot attack these wars. Because
Yeah,
according
and
to my prophet, that was Allah who ordered these wars.
okay, and I was asking that
And now if you're
like
an atheist,
I
right?
wasn't attacking. Yeah,
No, I know you're
okay.
not. I know. When I say attack, I'm speaking generally. Attack generally. Don't take it like you specifically, criticism. But now, if an atheist asks me, before I answer them, I'll say, when you tell me that what God did in ordering, quote unquote, these genocides, because that's what it's called, they call it genocide, you're saying it's evil. By what standard are you using? What ethical, moral standard are you appealing to tell me that this is objectively evil? How do you know that? If you're an atheist, this is what I would ask an atheist.
So, are you saying that God is the only source of morality on earth?
Well, no, I'm saying if there is no God, morality is subjective. It's not objectively true. This is why human beings come up with different ethical systems. So which ethical system is right? And why should I presuppose your ethical system as being correct and bind myself to it? By what authority? You're not God, you're not a prophet. So now answer as an atheist. If you're an atheist, how do you know that these wars are morally evil, objectively morally evil? One more. Don't tell me what you feel. You're not God. So I don't care about your feelings. How do you know this is objectively evil?
So, in according to modern day laws, this is evil, this is illegal, and it
So,
is a war crime.
hold on. So according to modern day laws, Muhammad would be in jail for pedophilia. So modern day laws are now your way of determining moral absolutes. So you
No,
mean when
not
America,
exactly.
well, let me go with you. When America gives $26 billion to Netanyahu to throw bombs indiscriminately and wipe out Gaza because of Hamas, do you say that's evil? America says, no, that's the right for Israel to exist.
Yeah.
So atheist, answer my objection. What
And
is your, because you're acting as the atheist, I know you're not, but you're saying atheist. What is your standard of ethical, moral, objective? I want something objective, not, oh, well, to me it's evil. Well, to me it's not evil. So now who's right? What Hitler did in Nazi, he thought he was doing great. He was advancing human society by getting rid of the Jews and all those invalids, right? Because he didn't just kill 6 million Jews, he killed 7 million others because he wanted to create a super race. And he thought that these people were a cancer and a burden on the advancement, evolutionary advancement, because humans needed to progress to the next level. And he thought he was right. So was Hitler wrong?
yeah, he was wrong 100%.
But how do you know he's wrong? He said he's right. And if he won out, everyone would agree with him. How do you know he's wrong?
I would use modern science since I'm in STEM.
What modern
And
science? Science is amoral. What I mean is science does not teach us anything about morality. Science has no ethical, moral system that science is attached to. Science does not govern morality. It's amoral, not immoral. Amoral meaning it's neutral. So
But
what
you
signs
just
can you
said that
appeal?
Hitler, you said Hitler was doing whatever he did because he thought he was helping the humanity, but science
Yes.
says otherwise.
How does science say otherwise? What could you appeal to science to show that his understanding that people who have disabilities and do not contribute to the advancement of society, but are a burden on society and drain the resources of society, need to be removed? How does science determine that he's right or wrong? And if you want to appeal to science, let's go with science now. We know scientifically, we know this is a fact, that prepubescent girls physiologically, let alone psychologically, cannot handle penetration, sexual intimacy, until they've reached menarche, when their hips have fully developed and their bones have fully been formed, and that takes place around 16, 17. Anything prior to that does damage, physiological damage to the bodies of young girls. So if I'm going to appeal to science, why did your prophet mount a 9-year-old? So let's come back to the point. What is your ethical system by which you determine what God ordered in the Old Testament is evil? You can't appeal to Islam. Muhammad confirmed it.
And I didn't say it was evil. I just said
No, you're not. I'm talking generally. Don't take it personally. So what do you appeal to tell me that what these Old Testament commands, these Old Testament commands ordered by God, they are wrong or right? Because if you're saying, as a Muslimah, Muhammad confirmed them, so they're right. As an atheist, you have no moral absolutes. You have no objective way of telling me this is right or wrong.
Okay, can I ask, can we move on